that you're doing fabulous. Thanks for joining for a chit chat off of my other channel's reading that I did after I did this, you guys' original reading, which, as always, the Great One will always confirm what he says about something. You know, last night I got on the channel. If you're new, welcome. My channel is very, very intense, so there could be some stuff that might be disturbing to you if you're not walking in uprightness and understand where we're at in history. It's a very spiritual channel, and the Great One who builds this channel is Jehovah Elohim, maker of heaven and earth. He who is the great Yeshua, who only is the wise king of the universe. Okay, so anyway, if that's not what you're looking for, then good luck to you. But if you stay, welcome. But anyway, I just got done with the reading over there. Many of you all caught the reading that I did this morning. And last night, I kept seeing the death energy come out over and over. And this morning, we had energies on y'all's first reading about the that a witch was going to be burned and all that kind of stuff. Somebody's going to go to prison for some things that they've done because they did it in excess. Their mouth was just a beast-like snake. I think I put a little snake picture there. And what came out on this other reading, people, was so profound. I'll put the actual reading down below. But we actually had the mark of the beast come out. So the beast is really being put down by the Great One. We had nothing but air. The death card, pride and ego. I mean, Leviathan is being put down now, and that's positive. In y'all's reading, my first reading this morning, we kept having fruit and stuff like that, about a tree and things like that. And we know that the snake is said to be in the garden and stuff like that. But when I was doing this reading on my other channel this morning, before I even got started, I was spending some time with Jehovah like I always do. And he took me to the book of Enoch this morning, and I began to read about the flood, the deluge from the first flood. And Enoch was being approached because when Noah was born, he looked different, and there was a prophecy about him that he was going to, survive, and his three sons and stuff would be there to go through this. Remember, Noah preached for like over 100 years or 100 years or something like that, that it was gonna rain, and it had never rained before. And but anyway, we're told by Christ in the New Testament that it would be as the days of Noah, but it would be a fire flood this time around. Because remember, when they got off the boat, Jehovah put a big rainbow there and stated that he promised he wouldn't flood the whole earth, okay? Not by water, but by fire. It's a spiritual flood going on. It is a spiritual flood going on. And giants were in the land in those days, and after that, he stated. But he was given... Enoch was saying that, I want to see where, I'm on the wrong page. He stated that because they produced the giants in the land, the fallen beings came and they mixed. We've been getting a lot of energies of people trying to clinging, and I mentioned that on the original reading today. And they produced giants according to the flesh, it stated, and that there should be a great punishment on the earth, and the earth should be cleansed from all impurities. Okay, and he was going to destroy the whole earth by that flood, which he did. But now it's a spiritual flood. And I was reminded of something that before I ever, really knew everything that was in that book, that Jehovah had, and I actually got footage somewhere, probably on my old channel, talking about how the flood this time around would be giants in a spiritual sense. And we know that we've got groups, or what we'd call, what was the word that came out on the original reading this morning? Clubs, like the people got their little clubs or secret societies and stuff like that, and giant secret societies, and doing nasty business in the earth, and just, the way they speak and out of their mouth, and they're just of no worth, because they are of the flood drowned those giants. And we're in the judgment, right? And those things were going to be judged. And people have opened up to some things as we've went through a season where people have taken and made an agreement with the beast itself or the devil himself. And hell hath enlarged itself and all that kind of stuff. And that's why the mark of the beast exists. And people darkening in their soul, in which the book of Enoch talks about how those things would be, if people would, their soul would just be darkened and stuff like that as well. And we've really been seeing a lot of that. People just been crazy, and they just get a line of confusion on them for stuff like that. But these giants are spiritual beings. They are spiritual beings. And Jehovah's putting this thing down. And he's the only one that can, people. He really is the only one that can put this thing down. So going back to when I was doing this reading, just out of nowhere, this book flipped over to, it just opened. After I turned the camera off, I was compelled to just go read it. I wish I would have just been compelled in the video, but I guess everything happens for a reason. And it's stating here, and bear with me because the way this book has been printed, it's kind of hard sometimes to read it, okay? But going back to the fruit and the tree and stuff like that, now we're told in Revelation that we would be able to eat from the tree of life, okay, and live, and we'd be going into a time where people would live long on the earth again as well. It states here that he's speaking, Enoch is speaking, I guess, to one of the angels, and he said to the angel, or the angel said to Enoch, "Why do you ask me concerning the fragrance of this tree?" That he's asking about. And why doest thou wish to learn the truth? And then Enoch answered him and said, I wish to know about everything, but especially about this tree. And he answered, saying, the high mountain which thou seen, whose summit is like the throne of God in his throne, where the holy great one, the Lord of glory, the eternal King, will set when he shall come down to visit the earth with goodness. And as for this fragrant tree, no mortal is permitted to touch it until the great judgment, when he shall take vengeance on all and bring everything into its consummation. You know, we've often gotten people trying to keep people apart to come together who are supposed to be together. And Jehovah here lately has been saying it's okay for you to love a certain person, but some kooks or people have tried to cling, and which the book of Daniel says that in the last days the feet of King Nebuchadnezzar's dream would try to cling together, and it wouldn't be able to, right? And so this is where we're at right now. And we're in a great judgment all over the world with this pandemic and poisons that have been going around and things like that, and people just doing some crazy. We're right on target, like I said on the first reading today. But it's time for this consummation to take place, okay? So this is he's saying though that that he shall take vengeance on all and bring everything to its consummation forever. It shall then be given to the righteous and the holy. Its fruit shall be for food to the elect. And it shall be transplanted to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the eternal King. Then shall they rejoice with joy and be glad, and into the holy place shall they enter. And its fragrance shall be in their bones, and they shall live a long life on earth, such as thy fathers lived. And in their days shall no sorrow or plague or torment or calamity touch them. Then blessed I, the God of glory, the eternal King, who has prepared such things for the righteous and has created them and promised to give them. And we're right here, people. Have you stood true? Because that's a beautiful promise for us. We're going to be able to live long on the earth again. And, I think yesterday we got a word that came out and it was making reference to somebody who was gnawing on bones, but we've been getting energies of bones coming out here. And I just heard, can these bones live again? And yes, and they're going to smell beautiful, and they're going to live long on the earth. And this wicked's going away because they don't get any of that fruit off of that tree. Jehovah's slaying the dragon. And I just want to share this with you. And the things that came out on this reading was death and life was in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. And they get the sour, because we had the word sour here. They going down to hell where they're going. Okay? And there's going to be a celebration for us. And we were told, I will fight for you. There's a renewal of any kind that's positive here. And it stated that they were going to go to prison because they're caught. So I'll put that reading down below if you want to watch it. Until next time, y'all, I'll be back to do some combination readings today. Shalom.